All right, so I got all the pieces sorted here. Unfortunately, I am missing a couple of parts. Nothing too crazy, like nothing noticeable, but something weird about one of the missing parts. Let me go to the parts list. So I have them all checked off for the ones that I have, except for like some of the minifigure parts because I already have them built. These light gray, kind of like, I don't know what you would call these pieces. I couldn't find them anywhere. I have two of them in dark gray, so I'm gonna substitute them. I'm sorry to all the purists out there, but it's not gonna be 100%. But yeah, that is a very, very odd like phenomenon. I looked everywhere for those pieces and I couldn't find them. In fact, I searched so thoroughly that I managed to find this tiny little tan Technic piece that only came in this Tri-Fighter set. But yeah, now it's time to actually build this thing. Oh yeah, and completely unrelated, but I just bought this TIE bomber. It's a really, really nice set. I think if you haven't bought this already, I think you have a little bit more time because it was still in stores. But yeah, really, really cool set. Okay, so I'm on this step right here where it says to put two of these 1x4s together, and then it tells you, you know, put the thingamajig on the thingamajig. Why is it gone here? Now it's just one. It was just two, now it's one. And then if you turn the page, look at that's one, then it's just back to two. So here it is, the Imperial Shuttle Tydirium. I honestly can't believe that this set is already a decade old. I still remember when I first bought this set. A little bit of lore. I didn't actually buy the set when it came out. I bought it a couple months after at a secondhand store, and it was going to be in a display case, but it was too big to fit, so they kind of just took it apart and put it back in the box. And I managed to buy it for only $43 with the box, with the instructions, all of the pieces, all of the figures. The only difference being that it had already been built. It was just in a couple parts, which I think is a really cool deal. Usually when I was little, I would take apart a bunch of my old sets, but this one I managed to keep intact until divine intervention happened and my dog peed on half of the set. So I had to take apart the entire right wing here and wash off all of the pieces. And instead of just rebuilding the set like, you know, I should have, I decided I would just take apart the whole thing and put it on my bucket. So I had to go back, and it took me a week to find all of the parts to the set, some of which are missing sadly, but not a huge deal. The set includes 5 minifigures, the first of which being this Endor style Han Solo. I think that it looks pretty good. I think the pants look a little weird. I guess that his coat is meant to be like going down further, but it looks kind of weird, like discolored. When I was little, I didn't understand that it was his coat. I thought he was wearing like washcloths on his legs for some reason. It looks super weird. But other than that, I think it's a great figure. It's got 2 faces. It's a mad face. The second minifigure, which is probably my favorite from the set, is this Endor Leia. I think that this cloth like camo piece is really, really cool. There's still like a print underneath, but it's kind of generic, I guess. Leia also has, of course, an angry face. I also think that this hair piece just looks really cool. Overall, probably the best minifigure in the set. And of course, you can't have Han Solo without Chewbacca. Pretty much the same Chewbacca that they've been using. Nothing too crazy about him, but still a cool figure. So for both of the Rebel troopers, I, for whatever reason, cannot find their gloves. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know how long ago they've been gone, but I've kind of had to substitute, so sorry that it's not 100% the original, but it's close enough. We have this kind of old Rebel trooper, which I think looks really cool. Oh my god, I almost dropped it. I really like the Endor helmet that they did. I think it's a really good looking piece. A lot of people like to say that this is Captain Rex. I don't know if that's like intentional or not. It's just kind of the old guy. And lastly, there is the second Rebel Trooper. I know that his face isn't right. Once again, I have no idea where that original face is. But yeah, just pretend that he has the normal face. Now, as far as the set itself, I think that this is an absolutely gorgeous looking Imperial Shuttle set. I think that they did a really good job of all of the detailing. I really like these engines back here. I think that those look really good. Unfortunately, I don't have the new one that they came out with, so I can't really make a comparison. Hey, Future Liam here. So I actually went to a Brixton minifigs recently, and I got to see the new Imperial Shuttle in person. All I can say about it is I think it's alright. It's definitely a little smaller. I think it almost looks like a chibi version of the original one, if that makes any sense. I also really like how they implemented the Technic in this like big middle fin thing, because you can actually grab it from the top and it's completely sturdy. Like you can even fly it around if you want. I don't know how rough you can be with it, but you can still pick it up, and I think that's really cool. Oh my god, I broke it. Yeah, so I guess don't grab it by the very front, grab it by the middle there. So starting with the cockpit, you can of course open it, and you can see two figures inside. I'll admit it's a bit of a tight fit, but I think it works. You can of course move all of the guns. Something cool about these side cannons that I definitely don't think was intentional is if you have them in this position, kind of like how they are, you know, in the movie when they're landed, you can't actually fire the little spring-loaded shooter. But when you put them into like the attack position or the forward-facing position, it exposes the two spring-loaded shooters, which there's a little lever here that lets you shoot them. Oh god, that one's gone. On the bottom, there's some landing gear that you can put out when you want it to be in landing position. They both go out the same time. And there's also a hatch if you pull this yellow thing down. You can also open the shuttle from both sides, which reveals a pretty nice, oh my god, I broke it again, which reveals a pretty nice interior here. You can put all of the cargo in here. So there's a little box with the thermal detonators. On the other side, there's a little backpack in there. Let's get a good look in there. I think what's also cool is there's enough seats, if you include the cockpit, for all of the minifigures in the set to sit in. Of course, the main feature of this set is being able to completely... Oh my god, I shot the... Of course, the main function of this set is being able to completely unfold the wings. And now you can have it in flight position. I definitely prefer how the set looks in the flight position just because of how smooth these wings are compared to how they are when they're folded. Like you get the weird kind of inverted pieces. I just think that it looks a lot more cohesive like this. And this is how I typically display it. Here it is from all angles. Overall, I think that this is an incredible set, and I think it's definitely held up over time despite being an entire decade old now. That's a decade old. And yeah, that is the Imperial Shuttle Tydirium from 2015. Overall, I give this set a rating of 9 out of 10. This is definitely one of my favorites in my collection, and I think it has definitely held up these past 10 years.